So what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And hey, it's spooky season, and if you're like me, you don't just like watching the same thing over and over again every year. You want something new. Well, during the last live stream, I was talking about a documentary slash clip fest of movie that I was recommending, and the people in the stream hadn't heard of it. So we're going to get into a few of those, including these four I got right here in my hand. What are they? Well, let's get into the video and you'll find out. Let's go.
It's only a movie. It's only a movie.
So what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the JeffMan316 Pop Culture Reporter channel. I'm your host, as always, JeffMan316. So yeah, during the live stream that we just did, where we were watching along the movie, I was talking about a little documentary slash clip fest movie that some people had not heard of in the stream. So I thought I'd talk about a few of my favorite documentaries or just, horror clip shows. They're really hard to describe. I'll get into them and you'll understand what I mean. But as far as live streams go, yeah, hit me up. Come over on the channel. Sunday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern. We usually watch along to a movie. We usually talk about pop culture and stuff like this. So I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. It's sort of a documentary series, this first one. It's called Screen Greats. Tom Savini, Master of Horror. So this right here, I know it was released on VHS, obviously, because I got it right here. But it was also released on Laserdisc, but I don't think this ever had a true DVD or Blu Ray release. Now, I'm assuming the reason is it's got clips from movies in it. Because if you don't know, Tom Savini basically is the master of horror effects. He's done Dawn of the Dead, Friday the 13th, Maniac. That famous scene, Maniac, where the guy jumps up on the hood of the car and blows the guy's head off with the shotgun. I'm pretty sure they said that was actually Tom Savini jumping up on the car. He did Creep Show. He actually was played the creeper or creep, whatever you want to call him, in Creep Show 2 in the back of the truck. We've watched that. But this highlights a lot of the special effect work that he's done in those great films. It says, it highlights Tom's goriest moments, from splattering shotgun blasts, that's Maniac, to vicious machete attacks, most likely the, Friday the 13th Part 4, the end of that. You'll love every disgusting minute of it. This is fairly short. It's 52 minutes. Now, how can you see this? Well, I do know for a fact, even though it's not the best quality transfer, you can watch this on YouTube. So it's only an hour if you want to know more about Tom Savini, you want to know more about his effects, see how he does it, and just reminisce about some of the nostalgia of the movies that he did the special effects on. Check out Screen Greats. It was Volume 1. Paramount released it back in 1986. They released a second volume that I think was about satanic cults or something that's not as good. So I don't know what happened to that. They should try to maybe put this on as a special feature on something. The next movie that I'll let you know about is, I think this was a television documentary type thing. It's hard to describe these things. This one is called Coming Soon. And it was made by Universal. And this came out, let's see, in 1982, and it's hosted by Scream Queen herself, Jamie Lee Curtis. Now, this one doesn't go into special effects or whatever. It basically talks about old horror movies, and it's a majority of it's old horror. So, like one of the guys that support me on the channel, Doug, he likes Universal Monsters. This is full of that stuff. This is directed by John Landis, and Jamie Lee Curtis is the narrator and does some, intro scenes into it. But it basically talks about the old Universal horror, like Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, Creature from the Black Lagoon. It's got some original previews of coming attraction stuff in there. It also goes into, it says, she'll guide you through the shadows of Dracula's infamous castle, take you on a dip in Hollywood's murkiest pools, and even let you spend a night at Norman Bates's deadly motel from Psycho. So it's Universal. It's basically a clip fest and a big giant advertisement for their movies, because they made all the, the Universal Monster movies. And I'm pretty sure it's only 55 minutes. So a real quick watch, and I'm pretty sure this is available on YouTube as well. So, they're not official releases on YouTube, so I can't endorse the picture quality. Now, this next one was one that it took me a while to find my tape of it back in the day when we moved. I remember moving into this house and I was putting my VHS on a rack, and this is the one tape that I wanted that I couldn't find, and I finally found it. It was packed away in some other stuff. This is as you got into the 90s. I'm pretty sure I don't remember the exact date. Yeah, 91. Where, this is more stuff from the 80s. The Scream greats. Coming soon is obviously, the stuff from the, back in the day, the black and white Universal era. This is talking about stuff from the 90s where that was real relevant, like Wes Craven type stuff. And this is a documentary called Fear in the Dark, a spine-chilling study of the history of horror films. Now, this is on YouTube as well. I remember when I watched it on YouTube, the audio quality was not good. It had a bad hiss to it. But if you can stand watching it, it's got clips from Silence of the Lambs, Nightmare on Elm Street, Hellraiser, Friday the 13th, Halloween, and more. Now, this actually goes in depth and talks to a lot of the directors. I remember listening to Wes Craven is one of my favorites talking on here, but they've got interviews from John Carpenter, Wes Craven, Clive Barker, William Friedkin, who is obviously the director of Exorcist, if you didn't know that, and then the original author of Psycho. So this documentary doesn't just show clips. It goes into like the psychology of horror, like why do people like horror movies, and it goes into where it says that people don't watch horror just to be scared. That people watch horror because they take out their anxieties and their fears, and it helps them release that tension or whatever. So it's Fear in the Dark. It's, like I said, more of a 90s. It's got more of the 90s films in it. Fear of the unknown is the most ancient and most powerful emotion in the human race. Making a horror film, you get to play with the audience's feelings, said John Carpenter. This is only 60 minutes. It may have been a BBC type. I can't remember documentary, but yeah, check that out. Fear in the Dark. So the last but not least is one of my favorites. And this is the one that we were talking about on the live stream. And this is a movie that was released by Universal, so it heavily features their movies, but it's a movie called Terror in the Aisles. And I used to like this cover because the skull is made up of titles of movies. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Here's the back cover. Now, this one, I'll go ahead and read you the description. It says, here's the ultimate collection that fright film lovers have been dying for. Terror in the Aisles is a roller coaster ride through the most terrifying moments from over 70 of Hollywood's greatest box office chillers. It's hosted by two people, Donald Pleasance and Nancy Allen. So it goes through clips of Psycho, Jaws, Poltergeist, Alien, Bride of Frankenstein, Exorcist, Halloween 1 and 2, Dawn of the Dead, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So turn out the lights and lock the door. Be aware. Once Terror in the Aisles takes over, there's no running away. This was made in 1984. This is a feature-length movie. I'm pretty sure it's at least an hour and a half. Hour and 24 minutes. It's got color and black and white segments, obviously. It's got a lot of Universal titles in it because, they made it. But it doesn't just go there. It goes all over the place. Now, there's two ways you can get this on physical media. Number one, if you've got one of the original Halloween 2 Blu Rays, there's a special feature on there of Terror in the Aisles that a lot of people didn't even know was on there. And so you literally got a whole documentary with Clip Fest is what a lot of people call this one. I will say Donald Pleasance and Nancy Allen go into segments and tell you different types of horror, and they introduce each segment and they talk about it. So they even do some narration over top of some of the clips. Now, I will say this one strays off the path a little bit because it doesn't just have regular horror. It has psychological horror. It's got some stuff in there that I would really just call drama in it towards the end. But I like the way it's made. Now, there's also an official. I had into this now playing frame. There's an official Scream Factory, Shout Factory release of this. And it's got Jaws on the back, The Thing, and it's got Jamie Lee Curtis there from Halloween 2. Now, the cool thing about this release is it's got new interviews with Nancy Allen. It's got new interviews with the composer. It's got an audio commentary with pop culture historian Russell Dibble. They should have asked me to do it. But here's the cool part. It's got the alternate television cut in standard definition, because this is rated R. It goes all in. It shows the violence. I think it's got some nudity. It's got some cursing. So there's things they had to cut out for television, but they show that the television cut is one of the special features on here. So I highly recommend getting this disc. The inside has got American Werewolf in London. Now, this to me isn't as much of a documentary as it is clips, but it does have some really good intros, like I said, by Donald Pleasance and Nancy Allen. And it's got, if nothing else, man, you could put this in the background, play it during, Halloween party, or if you're just wanting something spooky to watch and you can't decide. Dude, Tearing the Aisles, man, I love this. I used to put this in and just play it over and over again and have it in the background when I was doing stuff. Like I said, it's from 1984. I highly recommend Tearing the Aisles. So maybe you guys can find a way to get that, and I'll put this back in my little frame here. I thought that was cool. So yeah, maybe that's what I'll watch next. Now playing Terror in the Aisles. So let me know, have you seen any of those? 3 of them you can just go check out on YouTube. I like watching little documentary style things behind the scenes and all that, especially during spooky season. So hopefully that'll give you some options of different things to watch. Is there any other ones that you know of, like documentaries, that you could recommend to me and everybody else who watches? Put that in the comments down below. And while you're down there, hit the thumbs up, like the video, like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that normal YouTube stuff. If you are a subscriber, thank you. I really appreciate it. If you're not, hey, it's free. Why not go ahead and hit it? You might stick around. You might like some of the content. Do a lot with physical media. Also, if you're a subscriber, hit the notification bell. You'll know when I post new videos. And come over and watch live streams with us. We watch along to a movie, talk pop culture, have a lot of fun. So I appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me. And hopefully, like I said, this will give you something new to watch during spooky season. And until next time, boys and girls, this has been JevMan316. As always, I'm your pop culture reporter. I'm signing out, saying you guys be safe out there.
It's only a movie. But sooner or later, you must leave the theater and go home.